Email release. Another email shows a Politico reporter sent a copy of his story about the Clinton campaign to the DNC before publication on Politico. That email correspondent reads, in part, Vogel, the reporter, gave me his story ahead of time before it goes to his editors, as long as I didn't share it. Here, obviously, they're sharing it. Let me know if you see anything that's missing, and I'll push back. So does this show collusion between the media and Democrats? Let's bring in the host of Media Buzz right here at Fox News Channel, Howie Kurtz. He's already at our workspace in Philadelphia. Good morning to you, Howie.
Good morning, Steve.
Well, it looks like collusion. Is it?
Well, anytime you have an email from a reporter, in this case Politico's Ken Vogel, with the subject line from the reporter, per agreement, it doesn't look good. It seems like it's kind of cozy. I would never, most journalists I know would never share a story before publication in advance. You certainly want to give the DNC, the RNC, anybody else a chance to comment, run all the points by them. But sharing the story in advance really is questionable. Now, I did talk to a Politico executive who did not want to be named, Steve, and this is what he told me. Yeah. Ken made an agreement to share this story to confirm facts and figures in what was a very complex piece about joint fundraising agreements. Politico doesn't typically do this, nor does Ken, but in this circumstance did to make sure we had it right.
Sure. You know, I remember back in my old hard news days, if you had a question after you had written the story, you just call back and you ask about that particular fact or two. But just the fact that the whole story's out there, that's substantial. I mean, and prefaced with that agreement earlier, that doesn't smell right.
Yeah, you know, I don't know whether there are other instances of this or not. This is the only one we know of involving Politico. Yeah. Would the RNC get the same courtesy? I don't know. But, you know, turning over the story in advance, you're sort of giving them the roadmap to pick it apart. Again, you want to, I mean, I've called a million politicians to give them a chance to fair comment, push back, punch back, whatever they want to do. But giving the story in advance, not something, that's a line I would never cross.
One story that is gigantic is the fact that Wikileaks has released all these DNC email, 20,000 of them from 7 different DNC accounts. How big a story is this? I mean, it's obviously big because it's forced the DNC to uninvite Debbie Wasserman Schultz from speaking at her own convention. So how big is it in the media world?
This is a huge story for several reasons. Most likely, most notably, Steve, because for months and months and months, Debbie Wasserman Schultz and the Democratic National Committee said, oh, no, we're perfectly even-handed. We're not taking sides between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. And then you've got all these emails disparaging Sanders, saying perhaps we should question his religion. It kind of blows up what they've been saying. But looking at the rest of the mainstream media, not only is this story not on the front page of the New York Times or the Washington Post, you really have to drill down on the New York Times website to even find this story. And yet it is having huge repercussions here. And so it makes me wonder, you know, and there are other things showing some coziness between the media and the DNC, or at least Debbie Wasserman Schultz complaining to Chuck Todd of NBC about criticism from Mika Brzezinski. This must stop, she says. So there's so many angles to this, and I'm surprised it's not a bigger story, but I think it's going to get only bigger.
Well, maybe tomorrow. All right, Howie Kurtz on Sunday. Howie, thank you very much.